So how is your garden?
Our garden's actually, it's shaping up. Thomas has been doing a lot of clearing, and he used to years ago, he changed the way that he gardens. We are in a unique situation because our particular piece of land, the guy that lived here before us, for some inexplicable reason, scraped off all the topsoil and had it taken away. So we've been for years working on building the topsoil. And initially when he was rototilling, that doesn't really help. But
yeah,
by doing mulching and putting soil on top and more, it's building up. So it's getting better.
A lot of composting.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You send out a newsletter, a spiritual guidance letter, sort of a menu, all in the same thing every week. I love the way you lay it all out and then present your menu. It's just really nice. Did it just sort of grew organically that way, or? Yeah.
Yeah, it did, because initially I used to do a lot of health information, and I realized I was overwhelming people once again. A little bit of information, good, and a little bit of something else to go along with it, because I believe it's healthy food, but it's also a healthy mind, healthy body, it's all connected. We can't live one without the other. So I started just the food for thought, it just kind of evolved because it became things I was thinking about. And I realized a lot of times when I start telling somebody about something that's on my mind or something that's popped in, there's somebody, oh, I was thinking the same thing, or what about this? And I did it kind of just to, share how I was feeling in the moment. And then recently I added something to share because it's just nice to have other things, know there's something out there when you're feeling, and you have a day where you just feel like, I don't know if I can make it. I can't believe. It's nice to have some place to go and look at, or to that one piece of information. Sometimes it's just a sentence or even just a word, and it's that uplifts you. And if I can share something that helps somebody, then it's amazing.
And you bring the horoscope in, and the moon, the phases of the moon, and all of that into that letter, and that sort of it really is, I would say, it's a base for the day. It's a base for your week. To sort of like think about. And how has the pandemic affected you in your business?
It kind of died off for a while. Really, it was very, very small, but I kept doing it. Initially, I got a little bit militant because they were talking about closing our farmers market. I called City Hall. I called the county health department. I was on. And then they said, we're gonna try and be safe. And actually what happened was, it started at the governor, and it came down that they thought that farmers markets were an integral part of our food system, and they are. And initially, I was really shocked because on this thing called Next Door, there were people that were saying, we don't want it in our neighborhood. We don't want bringing COVID to our.
Oh my God.
If you go to the grocery store, your food, your produce has been picked by a farm worker somewhere. Then that goes to a warehouse. Then from the warehouse, it goes to the store, or it might go to another warehouse before it actually gets to the store that you are shopping in, which means we're talking time, we're talking degradation of the food, all of that. So if you go to the farmer's market, the farmer is standing right in front of you, or his representative. It has been picked within the last 24 to 48 hours. And the only people there's a farm worker handling it, and you. So I wasn't computing this pandemic fear that, oh my God, farmers markets, it's going to be really bad and contaminate. No. So I was, and there were people that shop at farmers markets that were making, some of them were making a comment. I said, oh, you know what? If you don't want to shop there, don't go, but don't stop me from going. And I think that right there,
you made it through.
I made it. and I've gone. I have not missed a farmer's market. I'm there because I want to keep supporting those farmers because I want them.
But you were safe. You were safe when you went. You wore your mask.
Yeah.
You know, you did the things that would make everybody safe. So, yeah. So,
but everybody stepped up. All of the farmers markets stepped up, and everybody implemented, masks, distancing, one way through the market. You can't backtrack. There, and initially none of the farmers were letting you touch the produce. They were picking it for you, and you were buying that way. Now they've kind of relaxed that, and some of them allow you to do your own fruit and stuff. So, is
there anything that people can put into their diets to sort of counteract the effect that all of this anxiety is having on their bodies? What if you could pick maybe 3 things that you could add to your diet to sort of build up your immunity or build up your I don't know, your mental clarity or things like that? Do you have anything like that?
Greens. Greens are really good for you, and you need calcium, you need magnesium. Magnesium is what a lot of people are lacking, and that helps to calm your nervous system. So I'd say greens. I would also say people that have gone away from eating beans or legumes, really important. And the third thing is a fun thing, dark chocolate.
Dark chocolate, now you're talking my language.
It also has something called PEA, and I don't forget the term, the Latin term, but it basically it helps to bring up your feel good hormones. It basically giving you feel good hormones. So yes. But obviously it's dark chocolate, which is the one that has less sugar in it.
Yes.
So yeah.
Well, I get mine with no sugar because I take it like that. I love I love dark chocolate. It's so
well. That's
so
where I started integrating for myself. I do a lot of sacred cacao ceremonies for myself.
Where do you get your cacao?
I buy mine online. The first time I bought it at Follow Your Heart, but I buy it from a place called Wilderness Poets in Oregon.
Okay. Wilderness Poets. So, okay.
Yeah. Well, it kind of went along with when you said I do this moon cycles and everything. Something I've been doing starting at the beginning of the year is that wanting to connect more into the natural cycles that we have gotten away from. And so I am purposely honoring all the days of the year that connect us back to our farming roots. I did something recently for Imbolc, and Imbolc is what's considered a cross-quarter day. It is in between the winter solstice and the spring equinox.
Oh, okay.
And so we did that, and then I honored the spring equinox day, and the next one I'm going to be doing is comes from what's called Beltane, which is also a day. It's directly in between the spring equinox and the summer solstice. Because at that time, they would have been connecting to whatever was happening. Were they planting at that time? Were they getting the fields ready? What were they harvesting? There was a whole focus on really being connected to the earth, and we've gotten away from that. So in my quest to connect myself more, have decided I've been doing some research on what they would have eaten at one of those days. And so I'm incorporating some of that into now and creating something to connect us to that day. Because everybody, not just me, a lot of people are saying we need to get back to nature, put your feet on the ground, get out into nature, even if it's just a short time. Do it.
Speaking of that, you are a Reiki practitioner. You're a Reiki master, Reiki teacher.
Reiki level 2. I didn't go to master, but I Reiki level 2.
So
I wanted it. I wasn't really specifically looking to do Reiki healing with other people, but for myself, and also I do it some with the food, and so I
that's good to know.
Why I started doing it. Yes.
That's good to know.
I have tuning forks, and I'll use those sometimes too when I'm like stirring the energy, stirring the sound, stirring the frequency. It's me and my own connection to the divine, and because here is where the answers are, and that's what it's taken me a long time to get to that. And I meditate, and what I'd like to say for people, a lot of people say, I can't sit still, I can't sit still. It took me about 10 years of moving / dancing meditation to be able to sit still.
How amazing it is that you are putting yourself out there in the world, and you're creating something that's not just good for you, but good for so many people.
For me, since most of my food is really based on what's in season, it's just an idea of knowing what's in season now. And I try to stick with that, because I know you can have the option of going to the store and buy other things that are not in season, but that's another part of us connecting ourselves back to real nature, is the idea of, okay, what would I be eating now? It's kind of like people stop eating oranges or drinking orange juice because oranges is so high in sugar, but it's really good for you. And they're right during the winter / spring, which is when the cold and flu season usually happens.
Love it. That vitamin C is so important for that collagen. Ladies, think about it. You can say, I don't want all that sugar, but how about the vitamin C? How about that?
Well, the trick is to eat some of the peel when you eat the oranges. There's something in the peeling that helps with that. And so, just squeezing orange juice. And if you're going to do that, then eat it, squeeze it, and drink it. Don't put it in the fridge for a day or two. It changes.
Right.
So one of the things I think is really important, and I think it's what we're finding out, is the mindfulness of it. It's knowing that whatever energy you are operating in is what's going into the food. What you want to feed people is love.
Yes.
And that's really what you can do in your own kitchen. Whatever happened to you that day, if you need to stop for a few minutes, if you need to meditate, if you need to dance before you cook, whatever you need to do to let go of all of this, so that you can step in and you can focus and bring what the energy that you want to have in the food into the food.
So, I just appreciate what you do, and the fact that there's a respite with you that, people can have if they don't want to cook. Order something from Chef Mo. I'm so happy that you could do this with me today. I'm just, I'm very, very happy that you could be here with me. And I'm thankful and grateful that you are who you are and that you do what you do. So I just wanted to share you with everyone. So
thank you.
So thank you. Please give my best to your husband. And I will see you soon at the farmer's market.
Thank you.
Blessings
Thank
to you,
Tony. This is wonderful. I love what you're doing.
Thank you. Take care. I'll talk to you soon.